For the second Thursday in a row, the Cowboys suffered a disappointing loss. After losing at home on Thanksgiving to the Bills, Dallas came up short again in Chicago last night. The Cowboys gave up 24 unanswered points and failed to score for 2 straight quarters. Despite falling to 6-7, believe it or not, the Cowboys still remain in first in their division. We are now joined by former Cowboys cornerback Orlando Scandrick. It's been an emotional morning here. I will warn you. We got to get you to weigh in, though. Do you still see the Cowboys winning the NFC East?
My heart? Definitely.
Head.
Ooh, it's tough. I mean, they ain't a good football team right now. They're not playing good football. I don't see any positives there. I see a lot of finger pointing from the top to the bottom.
Yeah, your guy.
So, your bottom line is Eagles are going to survive?
No.
No. You can't even speak those words.
See, now you got your heart. See, now you let your heart get it.
I don't think that they're a good football team either. I think that they go and make they bring back Fitzmagic. We haven't seen Fitzmagic since.
But you know he's good for one of those games a year.
Well, he used to be, and they just brought him back out of retirement.
They have a 14-point lead, and that's what
28-14.
What about the defense? You on that defense? You were talking about your team. You on the defense.
I think they are what they are. 5-7. Both these teams are what they are. One's 5-7, one's 6-7. You know, Dallas just has a little bit of advantage in my book because they got to win 1 game out of the next 3, and then they got to win 2. Actually, I'm gonna say 2. They got to win 2 out of the next 3, and 1 got to be against the Eagles. Anything can happen, but I found myself looking through these stats, and it was ugly. I think that game could have the score didn't indicate what was really going on in that game.
Okay, so you played for Jason Garrett for a long time.
I did.
So you know him up close and personal, inside and out.
I do.
I do not think he is the emotional answer this team needs right now because he can light no fires in that locker room.
I get it. I think his voice has become stale.
Yep.
It's become stoic. I think the message is, it's clear as day that it's not getting there. I think that it's wearing on him, his job security week in and week out. I don't think that that's fair that he gets his job security assessed week in and week out, but that's the National Football League. It is what it is. But
so how good a football coach is Jason Garrett in your opinion?
I think he's a good coach of men. A good football coach, I don't see it right now. I mean, and you know, let's go bottom line.
How is he a good coach of men? I don't even see that.
I just think that, you know, he's a bottom line guy. He tries to keep things in perspective, and sometimes with the league moving so fast, I think you got to keep things in perspective. I mean, let's put it all in perspective. They 6-7, they're in first place still, but that's an ugly first place.
Okay, is he too much of a good cop?
I don't think so. But I think, how much control does he have? I think he wants to say that we're evaluating the kicker, and then Jerry comes out and says we're not. But then when I look at Brett Maher is his name, right?
Yep.
He's missed 10 kicks this year.
Nobody's missed 10 kicks. Nobody in the last 4 years.
It's still employed.
Dan Bailey missed 10 kicks his last 2 seasons, and one of them was an injured season. So at some point, you got to look at the top. I don't think Garrett made that decision. It wasn't Garrett's decision to get rid of Dan. This team don't have an identity, though. You know, they pay a running back. You know, as much as I love Zeke, as much as we love Zeke, they pay a running back, and, you know, you look at that stat line, and it's 19 for 81, it's 4.3. Naturally, you're going to say, why don't they run the ball more? If you take out that 31-yard game,
Thank you.
They're 18 for 50, 2.7. That's terrible. Terrible.
By the way, after the 31-yarder, his next 8 carries went for a grand total of 15 yards. That's 1.9 a carry. So he didn't exactly impose his will on the defense.
I mean, but he got 3 people on him when he touched the ball every time. I mean, I think that they got a scheme deficiency. They're not being creative enough. I mean, whoever that falls on, whether it's Jason, whether it's Kellen, whether it's Jerry, whether it's Dak, I don't know who calling the plays there.
Okay. So you know, and I know that there's some switch down in there that you have to flip as a group.
That switch broke right now.
Well,
they need to work on it.
I'm asking you, does it exist?
I don't know. I think this is Jason's strength right now, is trying to keep things in perspective and keep like that laser-like focus. But I don't know if that message is getting through. Like, you look at them in the third quarter after giving up that last touchdown and going down 31-14, they look defeated.
Well, it's because the kicker then kicked the ball out of bounds.
I mean, I don't understand him. I read a quote. He says, "I thought I hit the ball well tonight. I'm going to put my head on the pillow and I'm gonna sleep well tonight. He misses a field goal that's totally kills him.
It killed him. Yeah.
And then they go and cut the lead. They make it, what did they make it? 14
It
to
was 24 to 14.
24 to 14. And then he goes and he hits the ball out of bounds. They get it on the 40.
Can't do it.
2 first downs out of field goal range.
Yep.
And they go down and they score. And
In 3 plays they scored.
this defense, man.
Yeah, talk about that. See, that's on Jason Garrett, but ain't nobody mentioned Chris Richard. Ain't nobody mentioned Rod Marinelli.
I think, I played for Rod, me personally, and I mean, he was a big alignment, assignment, technique guy, but I mean, you look at them, they missed the line.
Position.
They got no technique. They're missing tackles. I mean, I guess you could say that the effort is there. I mean, the only thing I can say is, they handed the keys over to Chris Richard, and I think he was a great defensive back coach with Seattle, but I think it's a reason why Pete Carroll let him walk out that door.
Great defensive backs.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you got Earl and Sherm and Chancellor. I mean, and you got Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
And you got that D-line, you got that defense. I mean, how hard is it to coach?
I think we now seeing the reason why Pete let him walk out the door. 7 for 12, 58%. You're not going to beat anybody. No
and it should have been better than that because Miller dropped the easiest third down catch of the night.
So let's just say 8 for 12.
Okay.
That's awful. I mean, and then, man, 150 rushing yards, 150 plus rushing yards.
Okay, he's probably a friend of yours, but DeMarcus Lawrence makes $100 million.
It's a whole lot of cash.
It's a whole lot of cash. He's being paid.
It's hard to sack the quarterback. You got to drag that cash back there to it. You got that cash in your bag.
Wage it in.
I think, I think that his sack numbers are impacted by the fact that they can't stop the run. I can't remember the last time a Marinelli defense, but I can't even call this a Marinelli defense. This is a Chris Richard defense. I thought this was a problem last year. If you go back to the playoff game, this was the last time Ty Gurley ran up and down the field on anybody.
Yep.
Right.
Against
So
the
did
Cowboys.
the other little man.
CJ.
Yep.
Yeah, so they got some serious soul searching to do between now and the next 10 days. I don't even think it's health. I think it's soul searching. I think they need to look themselves in the mirror and decide what actually do we want to be. Like, what do we want to get out of this season? And I mean, I don't think it's a
They just
lost
want to
season.
get out of the season.
I mean, pack it in now. Give it up. Quit.
Did you not see New England? Did you not see Buffalo? Did you not see this performance last night? Skip, what happened? Did they lost? 8 of the last 11? 5 or 6?
That would be if they lost to the Rams. They would,
Oh, they gonna lose.
they would go to Philly.
Yeah.
They would have lost 8 of them.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do.
Yep.
They're going to do that, Skip.
Okay.
You see, Dak Prescott, they opened the game, and Skip loves to do this. They opened the game, Dak's 4 of 6, 41 yards. They drive right down the field.
4 of 4 on third down.
4 of 4 on third down. Almost 9 minutes. But for the next 2 quarters, he throws for 69 yards. Now, the game's out of hand. And he comes down and throws for 224. And if you didn't watch the game last night, you look at Dak's stat lines like, man, this game was close. Boy, Dak was balling. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Wait, does the fourth quarter count? Or?
I need somebody.
No, maybe it doesn't. I'm sorry. Do you know? Help me out on this.
It counts, but that stat line is real kinfolk Kurdish.
Yeah, Kinfolk Kurt. He know about Kinfolk Kurt. He know about Kinfolk Kurt.
One of those.
Real.
See what Skip likes to see. This is like in basketball. A team is blowing a team out. Guy get stat pad. Now he hate when LeBron James play in the fourth quarter. Oh, he padding his stats.
Well, he's front running stat padding.
Yo guy right there
They
padding his
got
stats.
Atlanta down 25, and he's still pouring it on.
No, he wasn't.
See my line? I have a triple-double.
Oh, what about that? Oh, Dak gonna say, I threw for 334 and a touchdown.
Knowing Dak, I don't think even Dak is looking
He
at
doesn't
that.
care.
I don't think he's looking at that. But when you look at that offense, you look at this team, and I don't even see how they still got Jason Witten playing as many snaps as he did.
Ooh.
And I love Jason, but
You know
I mean,
what?
Jason
at what
walking out
point-
on the field.
At what point, like, do you
Go
gotta
with Blake Jarwin and move it on.
You know what? I'll buy that.
Skip,
I'll buy it.
Blake Jarwin could provide them so much more.
What
if
Dak
he was
always says, and you can laugh at this, but Dak says he just might be the best athlete on our team. Now, that's high praise for number 89.
I mean, I look at it and it's just the offense is not innovative at all. It's no reads. They're playing 2001 football in 2019.
They line
Like, I
up
mean,
basic-
what am I paying my coaches for if you just gonna line up and do the same thing over and over and over?
Well, Jerry hired him. Ask Jerry.
I mean, but he's tired of it. You know, he's tired of paying a coach to do the same thing over and over and over. And I think at this point, he's probably thinking, like, I'm not going to get a different result.
Is he tired of going down there and giving press conferences and pep talks and talking to the
I
team?
mean, that's just Jerry. I don't think
Okay,
I don't think he gives he doesn't give pep talks to the team. I can count on my hands as many times as he gives pep talks.
I
think
count on one hand how many times in 14 years I heard an owner give me a pep talk.
Okay, I give you that. But I mean, when you own a team and when you own a $1 billion when you buy a $1 billion organization, then you make those decisions.
Well, then you take that blame, then.
I think that he is taking
No,
blame.
he ain't taking no blame. Why you wanting to find Jason Garrett?
Something. You got to start from somewhere.
Oh, exactly.
Can't fire yourself.
The Cowboys tanking for a new owner. You ain't know that, did you?
So now we need a voice of reason to sum all this up, and this is the only voice of reason I
Okay,
know
yeah,
at this
let you
table,
tell it.
except for Jen, of course. Bottom line, I still believe in my quarterback. This team is going to go as far as Dak Prescott throws this team. I believe this team is a little better than Philadelphia. I will not be surprised if my Dallas Cowboys lose to the Rams. I'll probably pick the Rams unless something dramatically changes, even though they have 10
I would be
days.
surprised because if they lose to the Rams, that just show you that they gave up.
Okay, gave up?
I mean, you at some point you got to
Okay,
put your.
but I'm going to remind you, they can still lose to the Rams, and all they need to do is flip that switch that's hidden somewhere down in there in their guts and go to Philly and beat the Eagles and come home and beat the Redskins, and they get a home playoff game. That's all they have to do, and I believe they're going to do
I get it, but I think that the Philadelphia Eagles are a team that they live and thrive off of like having a chance and having hope, and that's what's keeping their season
The
going.
biggest thing is we want to knock Dallas out.
What's keeping their season going is they got hope. Every time they lose a little bit of hope,
And I still won't be
Dak and the
surprised
Cowboys-
if the Eagles lose one game to the Giants. One of those two. They got them twice.
I don't see it.
Flip the switch.
I don't see
Flip
it.
the switch. I
Here we
remember my
go.
grandma used to say, boy, turn the lights on. I like, Granny, you know you ain't pay that bill. We ain't got no power. The lights ain't coming on. Y'all ain't got no power, Skip. It's over.
I'm not gonna go that far.
Over.
I'm not gonna go that far.
You know,
OVA.
Orlando Scandrick is going one side of the mouth and the other because
no.
he's
I
still
just
going
think
Philly, Dallas.
No. I'm not going Philly. I wouldn't even go
Skip,
Philly.
you know he ain't going Philly.
But I'm gonna be a realist. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna be real.